All right, we're on.
We're on, baby. Let's do it. 2024 is here. We're ready to rock and roll.
Yes, sir. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes, Happy New Year, guys. 2024 is upon us. Run It Reptile Expo virtual is excited to bring you guys some information on what we are going to do this year. We're here to talk about it here tonight, release some new stuff. So let's get started.
Yes. So again, guys, thank you so much. 2023 was awesome for us. We facilitated a few events and we learned quite a bit. And every time we do it, we learn a lot. And everyone who has participated has been a huge help. And so first of all, thank you guys very much for helping us grow this. This year is going to be very exciting. Right out the gate, we want to share with you guys our schedule that we have put together for Run It, and also Gecko Junkie, Martial Arachnids, and what other vendors may be participating at these events. So Tristan, you want to Jess will pull up the
so first off, we have kind of thrown one in. You guys are going to see a schedule that Jessica's going to put up here and show you guys. It is kind of a tentative schedule. There will be other events that we will throw in between there. But the first one, I guess, that we can talk about that we're going to be doing is this coming up weekend here in Atlanta, Repticon. Real excited.
Yes.
Repticon has given us the opportunity to host this event at their event live at the show. So we'll be running that. We'll start at about 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. We're hoping to be able to run it till 10 o'clock at night. I still haven't gotten confirmation from the owner of Repticon. But he's pretty positive. He gave me pretty much the green light on that. He just wanted to touch base with management and make sure. But they have an overnight team. So the idea is hopefully we're going to run it from 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday till 10 o'clock at night. And that'll be our first live event for this year at a show, Repticon Atlanta, this Saturday. Real excited about that.
And also, too, guys, this schedule here, this is posted on our website, runreptileexpo.com. So if you want to see if we might be coming to your city to run it. Also, I want you, this is obviously subject to change. And obviously here, in Atlanta, we're not even saying that we're doing Run It, but surprise, we are. So I expect that to happen throughout the year too, so just keep that in mind. But I also it's on our Facebook page, we asked you guys to kind of say or tell us where you might want to see us, and we got a lot of response from that too. So by all means, throw that out if there's something that you guys want to see done. And if you're a vendor, keep this tentative schedule in mind, because the way we're going to grow Run It is not only through participants, but also the vendors, featuring other vendors. And that's kind of the whole point of doing this, taking Run It and hitting the road, is we get to go to all these different cities. We get to meet everyone. Everyone can kind of see Run It happening in person, although it is a virtual event at this time. And then we can pull other vendors from the show and feature them in the virtual show, which is kind of the whole point of
let's dive into that a little bit, since you kind of touched base on that. And I can kind of give everybody an idea of what the vision of this is and where we're going to take this and why we're doing what we're doing.
Yes.
So my idea, guys, is basically we want to create a virtual show that is ran live at Repticon events that you can see here on the schedule. Okay, so with that being said, the plan that we're going to have in play here is that we are going to feature vendors that are in these different shows on our virtual. So for people that can't make it out to a specific show, or, obviously we go all over the place. As you guys can see on the schedule, we're going to be in Texas, we're going to be in Florida, we're going to be in Baltimore, we're going to be, in the Southeast a lot. So the idea here is to be able to feature vendors in these different areas live for you guys to stream on Discord or watch on YouTube and participate from home. So if you can't make it to a show, or there's a specific vendor that we're featuring, then you're going to have the opportunity to get animals or products from them. We'll be doing different things like discount codes on different websites. We've already got a couple of vendors that do dry goods, racks, cages. So the idea here, guys, is to build a community behind this and really start to support one another. We have definitely seen a kind of like a downfall in the shows. Shows have slowed down a lot. And this happens this time of year always. I mean, I've been doing shows for a long time, so this isn't unusual.
Right.
But this is just a way. So when vendors are at their table and they're still interacting with the customers at the show, hopefully we can generate some sales for them live on our virtual. So that's one thing that's going to benefit the vendors is you guys will be able to participate and enter your animals, and we'll stream them pretty much on our virtual. So that's the plus side for the vendors is at the shows, we'll be able to do that. And then the plus side again for the customer, the consumer essentially is that they will be able to get or have access to vendors that they may not see at a show or animals that they maybe haven't been able to find at a show. And that's the cool thing about it is if you're looking for something specific and you can't find it, we're going to be live at the show. We might be able to find that for you. So really excited on how this is going to grow and what it's going to do. But my idea here is to really build a community of the support from the vendors as well as the support from the community and kind of create this and grow this together as a whole. We have talked about, obviously the idea here is that we do want to host a show. Want to make it very clear that we want to host a show. Okay, we don't want to build a circuit, guys. That's not our plan here. We have a lot of ideas. I've pretty much kind of thrown a lot of ideas at different show promoters that really haven't grasped them or just don't see my vision the way that I see it. So we want to grow this, and from everybody's participation, and hopefully in 2025, we can host an actual show that's live for people to come and participate at, as well as have the virtual show there. But again, the key here, guys, we're not trying to create a circuit. We don't want to be running all over the country with this. That's not our vision. That's not our plan. We want to build a really solid show here in the Southeast that supports the vendors, supports the community, because it's kind of lacking here. There's really no big shows here. There's one in Daytona. We all know about NRBE, National Reptile Breeders Expo. We all know about Tinley, NARBC. Those are great shows. Nothing against them, but we want to try to bring that atmosphere and that vibe that pretty much to the Southeast. And that's kind of my goal, my plan. And I feel like with the support of the vendors, we can definitely grow this. We can do it, but we're going to need everybody to pour into it. We're going to need you guys sharing this. We're going to need you participating as much as you can. And really just believing in the vision. And that's what we're here to talk about tonight, is give you guys an idea of where we're going with this and what we're trying to do with this.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. And let's see, to get into it here, let's go ahead and talk about our most recent update that we've done. Go ahead, Jess.
The quality looks really bad right now. Apologies for that, but our 2024 schedule is on the website and it's been posted on our socials.
Yeah, guys, if you're having any issues, obviously just all of this is going to be on our website. This is more or less just a talking point here to kind of show you guys what's coming down the pipe. But I want to go ahead and get into something that we're rolling out as of like today. Jess just launched it for the new year. We're going to make some changes. We're going to add some things to this, but we wanted to, via Patreon, kind of launch a membership for Run It. Just talking to some of our regulars, this is kind of what put this into play. We want to roll out kind of like a tier system, a monthly membership tier system that has a bunch of perks to it. So if you want to grow with the show, and again, guys, you can obviously participation for Run It is free at this time, and we want to keep it that way for as long as we can.
Hold on, I'm gonna try to disconnect this and reconnect because it looks really bad on YouTube.
Okay, we're gonna pause for a second.
You can keep talking.
Okay. Anyway, so what we want to do, like I said, is roll out a tier system, monthly membership, and we're going to make some changes to that. But people who want to grow with Run It and are familiar with what we're doing, we want to give back to you guys and make this more than worth your while to continue to come back and participate and hang out with us. So as soon as Jess is ready, I'm going to have her scroll down, and I'll show you our tier system that we've rolled out for Patreon. And again, guys, this is live on the website too. So you can go to the website, runitReptileExpo.com, and then under membership, we'll just kind of walk through it right now. Boom. So here's kind of a little breakdown of what this is all about.
Yeah, this quality looks like crap. I don't know.
Okay, that's all right. But let's just keep rolling. Yeah, it's there for you guys to see. It's okay.
This gives you an idea, guys, and you can always go to the website, check it out.
Yes, 100%. Yep. So just go ahead and scroll down. I want to show these guys the tiers. So we have 3 tiers, broken down $20, $40, and $60 a month. Tier number 1, let's just kind of go through it. We're calling this one the Ball Python Buddy. Jess named these, and she did a good job, I think. So, for example, let's just start with tier number 1, access to our private Discord server. If you guys don't know, all of the bidding and all of the action you can say if you want to participate goes through Discord. We have our own Discord server. You can register on the website for that. And we have basically our own server for that. And we have a private Discord server that we're going to roll out for these memberships. So which features exclusive auctions, buy it nows, raffles, giveaways, more surprises. Obviously, we're going to change it up, but that would be exclusive to these folks who offer this membership. This is interesting. I didn't see this. Just color-coded membership role added to your Discord account within both Run It servers.
Yep. Okay. So you can show off within Discord that you're a patron.
People are going to know who you are if you do this. So no big deal. Pretty cool. Moving up here, we have the Frill Dragon Fanatic for $40 a month, exclusive discount codes to participating vendors. And then this is something like we'll have to build. We'll obviously communicate with vendors and see what they're willing to give these members as part of like from their brand. And then the biggest thing here is including free shipping and other discounts for Run It Expo wins. This is huge. Okay, because and Tristan can kind of fill you in more on these details, but we have a flat rate shipping on our animals. Doesn't matter how many animals you buy from what vendors, flat rate of $65, right? And then also, so you can see how very quickly, if you plan on participating with the monthly Run It shows, this is to incentivize you to jump on board with these memberships. It's obviously worth your time.
Right. So obviously, like you just said, is $65 flat rate shipping, guys. So we charge that for animal shipping. Usually we build dry goods separately because we don't know what those are going to be. But so technically what he's saying is for $40 a month, guys, you may or have the opportunity. We're going to throw different things in there, but you will receive free shipping. So whereas you were paying $65 to ship a box, you may pay that $39.99 a month membership, and you're going to save money. Essentially, you're already saving, what's that, $25? So by joining, and then if we do multiple events a month, who knows, you may save more than that. So again,
it's huge.
Kind of get you guys involved, get some members, build the following of this, and then give you guys the opportunity to save some money as well.
Yeah. That's awesome. Let's see. So moving on to the final one we have, which we're calling the Hardcore Hellbender for $60 a month. And this kind of leads into something we're going to talk about here in a minute. But usually to promote the shows, what we do is we do like a giveaway to get everyone to start liking, commenting, sharing, spreading the word about the virtual events. We're going to do one for this weekend, which Jess, did you post that yet? Not yet. So once we're done, we're going to make a post on the Run It Facebook page, asking folks to like, share the event. You do not have to participate in the event, but if you want to share, she'll have the instructions on the post. That automatically enters you into a giveaway for this weekend of $100 cash prize. All you got to do is share it, talk about it. So things like that. This Hardcore Hellbender package gets you an automatic entry into something like that. And we change it all the time, change the dollar amounts, change the prizes, all that sorts of stuff. This just gets you on board with that automatically. Let's see, a free mystery dry goods item included with every Run It order. That could be anything from a keychain to a t-shirt to a Gecko Junkie backpack, anything from other vendors, you name it. So boom, you're getting a free goodie. Let's see, 1 30-minute personal consultation. Now, this is interesting. I kind of want Tristan to talk a little bit more about this too. But a 30-minute personal consultation per month with any of the Run It team on a topic you choose that we are experienced with. So, for example, if you want to know how to breed arachnids or how to operate at scale with either geckos or spiders or snakes or whatever, we can consult with you. We can talk about whatever topic that might be. that you're curious about.
Even we have talked about, like basically entrepreneurship. So if you guys have questions about shows, so you have, questions on how to market yourself or brand yourself or need access to some things like that, we will be able to give you guys the resources to do that. Obviously, I've been doing shows for a very long time. I'm not going to say I'm the best at what I do, but I think that I'm pretty well versed. I have a lot of experience. I've gone through a lot of hardships to get that experience. So the key here, guys, is to pretty much grow this to where you guys can ask questions, or we can just flat out give you content of things that we think are important to the growth of either being a vendor or, like you said, how to take care of different species that we are pretty much experienced with.
Yep. And to expand that too, just Jess and I on staff, Jessica's a zoologist, and we've both worked for zoos and aquariums, and we've worked with a number of different species. In fact, professionally, we worked with reptiles and amphibians for quite a while. So, we can talk to you about keeping certain animals, how we might go about keeping and breeding certain species and keeping things at scale, if that's something you're interested in. This can be how to build bioactive vivaria. Myself and Jessica and even Ben with Rolly Boy, who's on staff. He's really knowledgeable and well-versed in setting up bioactive vivs and making things look nice. So we can coach you through that, things like that. These are all examples of things that maybe we could help you with this package. So that's included with the Hardcore Hellbender box. And then moving down the list here, a personalized animal feet pick. Don't make it weird. It's just something cute. Feet picks, yes, but critters. We send you some of those every Friday. Wow, damn it! So every Friday,
that was
high
your
quality.
Suggestion.
Was it? I forgot.
Feet pick Friday.
Feet pick Friday. Oh, that's right.
Friday.
So no human feet.
No.
It's for animals, guys. Don't be a freak. And then obviously all the benefits of the previous tiers are included in the Hardcore Hellbender package. So boom, that's a quick rundown of what is now live on the site and you guys are able to participate in. So you can join these memberships right now if you want to. Just go to runItreptileexpo.com, go to membership, and that is available to you. Jess gets started right away on making sure you guys got everything you need for those tiers. So that's Patreon. That's new for 2024 as of a few hours ago. So
let's go.
Let's go.
Yep. So I like that. What else are we going to talk about? We talked about after this, as soon as this is done, we'll make our Facebook post. If you guys want to like and share that, again, that's going to enter you in a $100 cash prize giveaway just for sharing and talk about the event. Yep. And we've done this before, right, Tristan? I can't remember what we did last time. We gave away like a few $100, like cash.
Yeah, I mean, we do all kinds of different things, guys. We've done enclosure giveaways. We've done animal giveaways. Hardwired Exotics did a knife giveaway. We've done $500 cash. We've done show displays. The key here is it's going to change. You're not going to know what's coming down the pipe. That's what keeps it fun and exciting. But you guys will have the opportunity to win different things, participate in different events. So just know that we're going to do you right. We're going to have fun with it. That's the key, is we want to pour back into you guys just as much as you guys are pouring into us. Because, again, this is a community, a family that we want to grow and expand. We want to show you guys that we support you just as much as you support us.
100%. Yeah, we definitely could not do any of this without the participation that we've had already, which has been tremendous, even though we're just starting out. So we definitely want to give back and keep you guys coming back for sure.
Done screen sharing?
Yeah, I think we can. Boom. Okay. What else, Tristan? So I want to talk about our processes really quick. So something that we learned, because we did actually our first in-show virtual event at Mickey's Show Me Reptile Show in Lebanon, Tennessee, and we learned quite a bit. So now what we're gonna have, so that we don't take everything back to our individual headquarters and kind of package everything up and separate everything, we're gonna have a scale at the event. So for our dry goods, if you purchase any dry goods, they're gonna be boxed, packaged, labeled, and then invoiced at the show. So we can take care of all that on Sunday.
Start from the beginning of kind of how it works. And I can dive into that. So basically, guys, if you're not familiar with how this works. So basically what we're going to do is we are running a live online auction at the show. Okay. You don't know what's coming down the pipe. It could be a ball python. It could be a crested gecko. It could be an enclosure. It could be a shirt, kit, Marshall Arachnids, purple box, Rolly Boys, isopods. Again, we're going to have different vendors depending on the participation we get. Who knows what can be in there? Lychees, sand boas, who knows, right? It's going to be based off the participation that we get. So all those animals will be in this virtual, different things. You guys can get in a chat, tell us what you're looking for. If we don't have it, we can try to find it, right? So we're going to run this online virtual expo for you guys to participate in. You can bid on Discord. So basically you're on Discord, you can bid. It's a live auction on there. Basically, the way we run things usually is we'll have a starting bid, and then it's $5 increments. It'll basically run a time clock for a minute. Some items run for 2 minutes, depending on how many they are. Sometimes we do package deals, things like that. So say a minute to 2 minutes, we will run a timer once we get the first bid. So for example, we put an item up, we're asking $5. John Doe says he's got $5 on it. Timer starts. Okay, timer's rolling for 1 minute. Now, you guys as participants have 1 minute to bid on that item if you're interested in it. Okay, so we're going to take a picture, we're going to post it, we're going to showcase the animal or the product, whatever it may be. Basically, once that timer hits done, it'll be in $5 increments. Now, you don't have to only bid in $5 increments. If there's something you like and it's at $10 and you want to jump it to $25, feel free to do so. If you feel that the animal's worth that, then obviously do that, or the item is worth that, you can obviously do that. You can also outbid yourself as an insurance bid. A lot of people will do that. So timer's running down. We're at like 10 seconds. You've got the bid at say $25 and you're afraid someone's going to come in and snipe you at $30 and you want to go ahead and bump it to 35, 40, 45. You can do that. That does not mean if you outbid yourself and no one else bids that you have to basically pay that higher amount. Your lower amount will win. We're not going to kind of get you like that. We're not trying to have you outbid yourself. Your last bid will basically be the winning bid. Now, once the timer stops, we need 3 participants on the other end to comment done. So once those 3 dones come in, then that's it. Whatever our home screen, which Jessica is running, sees is what we go by, no matter what. The reason we run it like this is a couple different reasons, guys. One, it cuts down on the lag time. So if there is lag on your computer, it gives you the opportunity to hopefully kind of time that lag, because the different participants that are commenting done are obviously running on different lag times. So it keeps it fair for both parties, for us and you guys. We want this to be as fair as possible. We're not here to try to take your money or dupe you, so to speak. We want everything to be as fair as possible. So once we get those 3 dones, the highest bid wins. We will announce the winner. There will be a picture posted of the item or of the animal. A key thing, guys, we do not go back and take screenshots or send you screenshots. So once the event is over or that animal is passed on, if you ask us for a picture or something like that, unfortunately, we will not be able to go back and do that because we are running high volume, a lot of different animals, a lot of different participants, and a lot of different vendors. Okay. So once we move past an item, we're done with that item. We're moving on. Now, a key thing is that YouTube will always be posted for you guys to go back. So if you missed a picture, you did not get it, you can always go back and view that animal. If you find that time frame, you can find that animal. Okay. So we will announce the winner. We will pretty much give a little bit of time and we will start the next item. We basically track everything on our end. We will pile it up for you guys and start to basically build you a box. Again, animals. $65 flat rate shipping. We do not care if you buy 1 animal or 50 animals. We do not care if you purchase from myself and Ryan or any of the other vendors. The key here is we're going to put all these animals in 1 box and ship it to you, or possibly 2 and maybe tape them together depending on temperatures and whatnot. So if the animals, if we have a couple different animals that you purchase, we're going to take care of those. We're going to make sure that they ship appropriately. Okay. So that's really key. To basically how this is going to work and how it's going to run. So if you guys aren't familiar with it, And again, if you're not and you're interested in it, guys, just jump in, sit back and watch. Or you can even go to some of the ones that we already have posted on our Run It Reptile Expo YouTube, watch some past events. The main thing is here, guys, we are not perfect. We're not going to be perfect, okay? We are learning. This is new to us. We have done it a few times. We learn every time, something new, something fun.
Every time.
So that's the key is we need you guys' participation and your patience as we pretty much work through all this and figure it out and create a well-oiled machine, which we have confidence that we can do.
Definitely. And to Daniel, to answer your question, can we stand there at the show and bid on the Discord? Yes, you absolutely can. And in fact, when we're set up at the shows and our little booth there, like on the outside of the booth that people will have access to, you will have access to a little QR code that you can scan. And that'll get you registered and then jump you into Discord.
As well as we also have a projector screen that's going to basically stream the event.
Yeah.
And we have a TV that will be streaming the event. So you can stand there, watch it live. And now that we've touched base on that, thank you, Daniel, for bringing that up because that's a key point. This is how we're going to grow this and build it, guys, is because when we're at a show, for example, in my vision of how this is all created and how it's became a thing, we've done this by word of mouth, right? Tell a friend, handing out a flyer at a show to a customer that's purchasing from us and give them the idea, the concept of this, which is very hard to build it that way because basically people have to trust and believe in what we're doing because it's new, it's different. No one's doing this, right? So when it's at the show, you guys can actually see physically how it's being ran, which in my opinion is going to basically build the trust between us and, the participants, whether they participate then or not. So for example, we're in Atlanta this weekend. We're going to have all these customers that walk by and they see this event. They're going to be curious for one, because they don't know what's going on. They're going to see it running on the TV. We're going to hand them a flyer. Or they're going to, scan the QR code. They may not participate this weekend, but the idea here is to get them involved. So when we go the following weekend, possibly to Baltimore or whatever our next event will be, then we can build that following based off of basically running it at the shows live.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. And that's why that show schedule is so heavy. We're going to really hit the road hard this year, really blow this up, get everyone on board, show everyone what's going on, be as transparent as possible. And it's super exciting. Very excited. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of work. But we're ready for it for sure.
We are ready.
Yeah, we're ready for it. So all good things, guys. I think that's it. I just wanted to say Happy New Year. Kind of show you
what talking about. We got more to talk about. That ain't it.
we could talk about this all night. You know how this goes.
I got more to talk about.
All right, Tristan. I'm gonna let you talk about it then. Here, you know what? We're gonna blow you up. Not me though. See if we can blow you up.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I'll just kind of chime in too. What was I talking about? I was talking about the process and how we're going to start doing stuff at the show. Yeah. We're just going to try and streamline everything. It's basically what I was getting at. We're learning.
So the idea here, guys, is again, at the show, there's a bunch of vendors. They put their items in. We stream them on the event. You guys purchase from them. We pack them all in one box. Now, the way this is going to work, and this is the idea that we're moving with this weekend. It's going to basically launch this weekend, weather permitting, for participants, so to speak. Okay. So this weekend, Reptiles Express is going to be handling all the shipping for us. They're going to be on site at Repticon, ready to take these animals to ship them out. So Saturday, you guys participate, for example, you purchase something, we send you your invoice. We want you to pay that as soon as possible. The quicker you can pay that, the better it is for us. Technically, we give you guys a 24-hour window to pay your invoice. Now, I want to touch base on the fact that if you do not pay your invoice, you're not going to be able to participate. Okay. We will basically weed you out. We're going to basically essentially ban you from our events. It's not anything personal. It's more so to protect the participants for one, because if you bid on a bunch of items and then you decide that you don't want them, well, there's maybe 50 other people that wanted that item, and you've just cut them out of being able to do that. Right. So it has nothing to do with us, right? I can bring the animals back home. I can bring the product back home. Same for the other vendors. Just keep in mind, it's not fair to do that to other participants. Don't do that because we wouldn't want that done to you, right? So if you don't plan on actually purchasing something, please don't bid. It's as simple as that. So let's say that you win some items. We're going to invoice you. Now, when we invoice you, a key thing that we're going to do to that is we're going to tack on a 10% basically processing and handling fee on top of your total, okay? That is very key. We've had some people that feel like they're caught off guard by that. We've talked about it many times in different videos. We talk about it at the live event, but obviously people jump in and out. Some people join later than others. So a key thing, guys, that processing fee, it's not that we're trying to add anything on to you guys. Technically, just look at it like your tax, okay? We're not really technically tacking on a tax. So that 10% is basically going to be a process and handling fee for taxes and for our staff to basically, you know, Jessica over there, she's doing a lot of work, guys. So it's a way to basically make sure that she's being taken care of and also to basically build this. So the idea here is that the money that we can generate from this and off of this is going to be how we build the future of this. So from the participation, again, of the vendors and the customers. So keep in mind, the more that you guys pour into us, the bigger and the faster we're going to be able to grow this into what we have a vision of, okay? Another thing for vendors that want to participate, basically we are going to handle the shipping for you. So you give us the animals on a Saturday, you link them in there Friday or Saturday, for example, and we run them in the event. We're not going to bring them back to you again and be like, here you go, you got to take care of the shipping. We are doing all that for you. So on the vendor side, we are tacking on a 20% basically seller's fee, okay, for us running the event, selling your items. So when you are basically giving us your animal or your product and you put your starting bid, keep in mind that we are going to be taking 20% of whatever the winnings are. Another thing that we want to touch base on is basically we are going to be donating 10% of both of those percentages. So 30%, 10% of that, we are going to pick different organizations, whether it's USARK or different, local rescues or what have it.
Conservation initiatives.
There's a lot of different ideas. We're going to donate from each event. We're going to donate 10% of our earnings, or whatever you want to call it, essentially, to these different organizations to help them out as well. Okay, so that's kind of how that's going to work from the vendor's perspective and from the customer's perspective. So keep in mind there are going to be those percentages added on. Now, let's say we ran the event, we sent you your invoice, you paid your invoice. Now, on Sunday, the idea here is what we're going to do, and we're going to launch that this Sunday, is that, okay, so anybody that's already participated and we have your animals here already and we're holding them from the past event that we did in Nashville or the one we did here, I think we did one in my facility. We're still holding some animals. The idea is I'm packaging all those up this weekend. So if you've already paid for shipping and you decide to participate this weekend, you're not going to be paying shipping again. But the idea is that on Sunday, once the invoices are paid, Jessica's going to send out the invoices. We need those paid as fast as possible. And then we are going to package everything up on Sunday. And then little Mikey from Reptiles Express is going to be there. And he is going to help us print all the labels, weather permitting. So obviously, if your temperatures aren't right, we're not going to ship it to you. Again, keep in mind, we are not shipping to anyone's home. It has to go to a hub. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We are only shipping to a hub. So you make sure that your name, it matches your name, because that's how this whole thing works. When you register, your name needs to match what you want as far as shipping, as well as what your name is in the Discord. If you do not have the name matching your registration in the Discord, your bid's not going to count. So if you're iPhone 614, we don't know who you are. So we may drop it down to the next person that we know who it is, and they're going to win that item. So that's a key point too, is make sure that that's matching, but we are only shipping to a hub. So ideally, you participate this Saturday, you should receive your animals or your dry goods by Tuesday. Animals, obviously, by Tuesday. Dry goods would probably be Thursday or Friday, just based off of shipping. So we want this to be a fast process. We want to basically turn and burn this. We want you to be able to get your animals as quick as possible. And again, Reptiles Express is going to be there. They're going to be taking all these animals. making sure that everything is good. We're going to package it right there on the spot. We're going to have heat packs, cool packs, crowd packs, whatever we need to make sure that we are shipping these out properly to your local hub. If you do not know your local hub, Jessica will help you find that. She will check the weather to make sure that everything is right. And again, that's what goes back into these percentages, guys. She's doing a lot of work behind the scenes that you guys do not see and do not know about. And that's the only way that this is coming about, guys, is because of Jessica and Ryan. I can get on here. I know how to get on here and have a great time, bring, pretty much the atmosphere and cut up with you guys and make this fun and exciting. But there's a ton of work that goes on behind the scenes. So thank you, Jessica and Ryan, for making all that stuff happen. But that's just a little rundown on how that all works. You want to touch in on that before we move forward?
Yeah. Yes. Also, if you guys look at that big old schedule there and you're participating in the event on Saturday, but you're like, hey, I live here, you're going to be here on that day. As long as your invoice is paid and you want to pick up at a date or a local pickup in Knoxville or wherever we're at, we can coordinate that with Jessica. As long as you're timely getting back your responses, we can coordinate pickups.
Right, so let's talk about a couple local places that they could pick up. So basically Crossville, Tennessee and Knoxville, Tennessee is where Ryan and myself live. So if you're within that area and you want to pick up there, you do not have to pay shipping. Right. Okay, so you can save on that. So again, free entry into the event. So you're not paying to get in. And if you're local, you can pick it up at the event. Or if you see on our schedule somewhere that we're going to be, you can pick up there. Another location that you can pick up is Greenville, South Carolina, or Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay. So 4 locations basically that are kind of our hubs. So that either Nathan lives in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. We've got Ben that lives in Greenville. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee. And then Ryan lives in Crossville. So if you're in any of those areas, you do not have to pay shipping. You can pick them up there or at another show that we are coming up to that we will be at.
Boom. Yep. Yeah. Someone was going to have that question for sure. So, and we've done that multiple times, guys. So lots of pickups. We can do that. Anything else, Jess? What am I missing? Jess is actually in the process. I'm looking at her right now. She's making that Facebook post we keep talking about. So if you guys want to start sharing right away,
and has questions, comments, concerns, hit them with us right now. We've got a little bit of time. We want to talk about it. How Daniel jumped in earlier and talked about it. We have a lot of ideas, guys, that's in here, and a lot of questions and things that we know that you guys want to know answers to. But we get hit, we get in the moment here, and some of it just slips our mind. So if it's something that that we need to touch base on, throw it up there, let us know so we can touch base on it right now.
Yeah.
All these rules and all this information is always on our website too, in case you missed anything or want to read more about it. It's all on our website.
Yes. While we're waiting to see if anybody does any of that, let's talk about the growth of what this is going to be for show-wise, because I'm excited about that part. Okay. Guys, I have a ton of ideas. Like I said earlier, it's not to knock any show promoter. They all have their own vision of what a show looks like and how it should be. Okay. I've been doing shows for 7 years, going on 8 years now, coming up in April. Okay. I've been breeding crested geckos for almost 15 years. Basically, that's all I have now. I have a couple pets, but we have honed it down. The only thing I breed now is crested geckos. I'm still sitting on roughly 1,200 eggs right now. So I think I know what I'm doing when it comes to breeding, housing, taking care of crested geckos. Now, when it comes to shows, if anybody's watched my growth, and this goes back into what we talked about earlier with the consultation or the YouTube videos that we want to release, we want to teach you guys about how to care for these animals, different housing, different ways to feed them, how to do it in volume, some of the things we've learned along the way, some of the pros, some of the cons, hopefully save you guys time and some of the issues that can arise, right? So that's one side of it. The other side of it is that we want to create a actual physical show. Now, on our website, Jessica has basically created a little layout of what I see being a vision of the show. Again, I've thrown these ideas at many show promoters. Some of them have tried these ideas. Some of them haven't. I can't tell you that it's going to be successful, but I can tell you that I have a very good idea that it's going to be based off of just seeing the shows and what's missing. I feel like One, there is definitely a saturation of shows in the Southeast. I've seen it happen over the last couple of years. Some people don't want to admit that, but it's a thing, right? I feel like the problem with the saturation isn't the saturation of the shows. I feel like it's the quality of the shows, okay? And it's the fact that these shows are so close to each other and on top of each other so often, really you're not getting anything different. You go from
Nothing
one show
special.
to the other, pretty much the same thing. And that's what we want to break here. That's what we want to kind of break the trend of, is giving you guys something fun, exciting, and different. Again, this is not going to happen overnight. I don't even plan on doing it this year. And nor do I plan on creating a circuit. I want one solid show, maybe twice a year, that we really pour into, make sure that the vendors are really comfortable with and enjoy. And then obviously we want to be able to bring that same vibe, this Tinley NARBC, where it's a destination spot so that families can come, they can enjoy the weekend, not just the reptile show. So I have ideas of where I want to host the show. I don't really want to release that yet, but it will be in the Southeast. So some things that are going to basically, I'm going to pour it out there for you guys. You're not necessarily going to see it the way I see it, but I'll give you a little bit of vision behind it. So back in the day, let's say 2-3 years ago, any show that I went to across the country would have a VIP line. And that's gone now. I don't care what show you go to, unless it's NARBC or Daytona. There's no VIP. Now, I can't speak on Reptile Super Show because I've never been, but they do post videos that they have a huge VIP line. So my number one question for these show promoters is, why did that die? Where did that go? I feel like I know why, is because they're not getting anything different. Why would I come to a show and pay for a VIP experience if I'm not going to get anything different than when I actually pay for my general admission and walk in and see the same thing? So that's, in my vision, in my idea, that's why that has died. So what I have an idea of is creating a really strong VIP experience. So you walk into the show, you're a VIP, you walk in, you get your badge, you walk in there. You're not even going to be able to get to the vendors, okay? So we're going to have an area that's basically boxed off in the front of the show. In that area, we are going to basically be able to teach people about shipping and proper shipping, different companies that you can use for shipping, whether it's Redline, Reptiles Express, Reptiles to You, Ship Your Reptiles. We're not biased here. We want everyone to be a part of this. We want everyone to participate. So we're not picking anybody out to be like, oh, we're representing this person more than this person. So for one, we want to teach the public about shipping, right? We all know how to ship. We all know what that's about. But how many people come into a show and know nothing about shipping, or don't even know that we can ship these animals to their door or to a local hub? I deal with it week in and week out. People do not know that information. So that's one step of it. Another step is promoting other shows. So we're going to give other shows the opportunity to have a table in this area that's boxed off from the vendors, this VIP experience area. And Jessica, if you can, while I'm chatting about this, if you can pull that layout up. Lay it out.
Lay it out
there. So the idea is giving other show promoters the opportunity, if they want to, that's up to them, right? But we're going to give them a free table to promote themselves, right? So come on in, tell people about your shows. Tell them where you're going to be. We're not trying to step on anybody's toes. We want this to be a big community and grow together. So there we go. If you can scroll down. So right there. Go back up. Well, we won't get into that yet. Slow, go back down. Right there. Stop. Go up just a little bit. There we go. Stop it right there. All right. So VIP right there. How you guys see that? VIP, educational check-in, all that fun stuff, right? See that little gray wall right there? That there's an opening in the middle. Okay. So VIP experience. When they get into the show, they're going to be in that boxed-in area. They cannot get to the vendors, but they can see the vendors. That's the key here. They can see the vendors. They can see them setting up, getting their tables ready, preparing for the opening of the show. Okay, so we're going to have where we're teaching you about shipping. We're going to have promotional area for other shows. And then we're going to teach you guys about USARK, right? I feel like that's something that's lacking in these shows. Nobody knows really about USARK. I feel like our community basically leans on each other to support, which obviously we have to, but to support USARK, right? So in a show that we are going to create, I want to have an area where we are teaching the general public what USARK is and what it stands for, right? So we're going to be selling memberships for USARK right there at the show for basically the public, right? Teach them about it. Show them the company that is basically standing behind us and making sure that we have the opportunity to do what we're doing. Okay, so that's one other thing. So let's start. We've got shipping, we've got show promotion, we've got USARK. Now let's jump into the feeders. So we're going to have somewhere where feeders are in that area because I feel like feeders is something that most people are going to buy on their way out, right? So if you put that in the show, then they got to find it. So I feel like it should be in the front of the show. We'll jump into the next part where it talks about care sheets. So my idea for the care sheets is Run It Reptile Expo is basically we're going to do two things. So we're going to create an area where, as Run It Reptile Expo, we provide different care sheets for the general public on your common species that you see at the show. Now, we're not going to be able to do it for everything, but we have ideas of basically doing it for your common arachnids, different gecko species, different snake species, basically chameleons, bearded dragons, leopard geckos, everything that is common that is pretty much seen at the shows, not your random stuff, right? But also, we're going to also have an area, so it's not just going to be for Run It Reptile Expo. We're going to have another area that's right there with it that's open. So if you're a vendor and you have your own care sheet, business card, anything like that, you can come up and you can put those in that area. Okay, so we're going to provide basically a central location for all of our vendors to have these care sheets up to basically promote yourself and, give your knowledge to the public. Okay. Jumping into merch and supplies. So basically merch and supplies. So we're going to obviously sell Run It Reptile Expo merch. We already have that on our website. You guys can buy hoodies, t-shirts, hats. I think we've got bags on there. So we will basically offer Run It Reptile Expo merch in this area for people to purchase, as well as supplies. Now, this is a big one that I feel like is lacking at the shows. Oftentimes I get asked for different things and random stuff that you guys would never think until it happens, right? Staples, tape, obviously paper towels. Everybody forgets paper towels, right? Deli cups is a huge one. Snake bags. Heat packs. Boxes, shipping boxes. Let's see, what else? Here we go. I got more. Tablecloths, right? So how many times have you walked around a show and seen people that do not have tablecloths at these shows or have, per se, a cheaper version of a tablecloth, right? So my idea is we're going to offer tablecloths. We're going to offer lights for tables. We're going to offer displays, right? As the show, we are going to sell these items to our vendors. Okay, so let's say that you're doing the show, it's your first show, and you don't have the money to basically purchase those nicer tablecloths, or you didn't have the money to purchase those lights. And Saturday's rolling around and it's 12 o'clock and the show's doing really well, and you made a couple sales and you're like, man, I really could liven up my table by just adding some lights. Well, guess what? You can do that right now on the spot. You can walk up to the front, buy it from Run It Reptile Expo, go back to your table and change your appearance right here, right now. Okay. And that is what I want to create with this, guys. We really want to build and grow the outlook of our industry. The better our tables look, the better the vision looks. And we kind of cut out this is a flea market idea, right? A lot of people throw that around as like, oh, this is a flea market. This is like a flea market. Some of the animals don't look that great, or the displays don't look that great. And it's not that I understand, guys, everybody starts somewhere. I'm not trying to knock anyone. I'm not trying to say that anyone's display is not to par, but we want to help you grow that, right? We want to give you the resources so that you can do that right now on the spot, and we can help you with that. We're going to have people on our staff that is basically going to help you if you don't have a logo, for example, and you need help with the logo, or your logo is not what you want it to be. We're going to have people that you can come to. Obviously, we're going to charge for these things, but we are going to have people that can help you create a logo. If you don't know how to get shirts made or don't know where to go about that, we can help you with that. If you need banners, if you need decals, if you want to grow your brand, we can help you do that. And that's the vision behind that area. So merchant supplies, a little bit of insight on kind of what that touches base on.
Yep.
Then we're going to have a kids zone. So in the kids zone, I think it's going to be really cool. I think this is really going to, a lot of times at these shows, what I see, guys, is we get a lot of new people that walk into these shows. They've never been to a reptile expo. They just seen a sign or a friend told them, and they come in there. And this is where I feel like we're losing the growth of the shows, is for a new person that walks into a show, what are we giving them as an expo to go and share with their friends and family? Because a lot of them come in there, they don't buy anything. That's fine. That's okay. But how do we get them to come back? How do we get them to give a positive outlook on what we are doing as a show? So I feel like the kids zone will help with that, because we are going to pour into those families that are maybe just looking for something to do because it's raining outside, or they just heard about it and they want to come in and see what we're doing, right? And that's fine. That's what we need. That's how this industry is going to grow. So we'll have a little kids zone, or let's say that a kid just gets burnt out and dad's actually really interested in it, and he's, just had enough of it, and mom's like, well, I got to get him out of here. Well, maybe don't get him out of here. Maybe take him over to the kids zone and let him color and play with some different reptile toys or something like that to keep his attention, right? So that's where the kids zone comes in. Obviously, that's going to grow and become a different, or become more. We don't know exactly where it's going to go, but that's just some ideas on what the kids zone can look like. And then educational. Educational, I think, is the number one key to the growth of our industry. So this little area in educational, if anybody is familiar with Reptile 101, we'll give a shout out to Taryn over at Reptile 101. She does an amazing setup. She's always got an amazing display of animals. She's really knowledgeable on the animals that she brings. So the educational area, my idea or my vision behind this is that we will bring in someone like Reptile 101. As the show, we will basically pay them to be there, okay? So we're not expecting them to come in because the way that Taryn works right now is she gets a booth at the show. She's obviously still got overhead, right? She's got to pay for her table. She's got to pay for her hotel. She's got to pay for her expenses to get there. So she has to try to make some money. That's just how this works. So my idea is, as the show promoter, we are going to pay her to be there. So whether 5 people walk through her display or 500 people walk through her display, they are going to be able to get that experience. They are going to be able to interact with those animals, which is what's going to touch base on what I think is a key topic at all of these shows. Handling animals, right? A lot of vendors talk and talk about how, we get people walking around the show and they want to hold this, they want to hold that. Well, guess what? This area is going to help with that. Because if you wanted to hold a crested gecko, well, guess what? Taryn's got one. Go up there and do it. She'll let you do it. She'll be glad to let you hold one. She'll teach you everything you need to know about it. Oh, you want to hold green iguana? Go up there. She's got one, right? You want to know about Nile monitor or Cayman or a retic? Go up there. She'll let you see it. She'll tell you everything you need to know about it, right? So that's going to help cut down on, can I hold it? Can I see it? Can I touch it? Now, I'm not going to say that once they get in the show that I don't want vendors holding, allowing people to hold animals. That's your basically discretion. The way I run things at my table is people are allowed to hold the geckos, and that's not going to change, because if I don't put it in their hands, they're not going to buy it, right? But that does help cut down some of those questions and things that maybe you don't want to answer or you don't have the time to do it sometimes, right? It's not that you don't want to, you just may be busy with someone. And they walk up and they want to hold it. Well, guess what? We have an area that's designated for that. So we're going to educate them. We're going to give them the opportunity to hold the animal, which will hopefully cut down on those questions at the table, right? Which allows you more time to basically focus on selling yourself and your product, right? So with that being said, another thing that I think is often talked about is people handling or bringing animals into the show and carrying animals into the show. I personally don't like it. I don't agree with it. I don't think that people should be able to bring in a snake and walk around the show because mites, respiratory infections, the list goes on, right? So will they be able to bring their reptile to Run It Reptile Expo? Yes, they will. And you're probably sitting there wondering, well, he just said that he didn't really agree with that. They're not going to be able to bring it into the show. They will be able to bring it to the show. They will not be able to bring it past that gray line. So you can bring your animal to the show. You can come into the VIP experience. You can interact with other people. You can let people see your snake there possibly. Or, hold your bearded dragon. But you will not be able to bring it into the show. Now, how does that work? People are probably like, well, how are you gonna keep them from bringing it into the show? Well, my vision, my idea behind that is that we're going to have a check station, kind of like a coat check. So you bring your ball python to the show because you bought it a couple shows ago and you know the vendor's going to be here and you want to show them how well it's doing, right? Now, personally, I don't agree with it. Weather permitting, different things play a factor, stress, things like that. But the end of the day, guys, we're not going to stop it, right? People want to bring their animals. They want to show them off. They want to show sometimes the other the vendor that they purchased it from. So we're not going to stop that. So how do we basically cater to that? I think that that's the way we do that, is we still allow them to bring their animals. It has to stay in the VIP area. We offer them an area for a coat check. We will charge them to do so. If they did not bring their own bag or deli cup or tub, you're going to have to buy it from Run It Reptile Expo. We will give you a ticket number. We will hold your animal until you're done with the show. When you're done, come back, see us. We'll give you the animal. We will also have a sanitizing station set up there. So they came in with their ball python. They're about to go in the show. Well, guess what? You need to clean your hands. Okay, so we're going to be basically a checkpoint to make sure that they are doing so before they get into the show. Okay, so I think that touched base on the VIP experience. Now, in that VIP experience, we're going to do a lot of different things. We're going to do giveaways. We're going to do educational talks. So like vendors will come up and give educational talks on what they specialize in throughout the show. Hopefully, depending on the venue or whatnot, there would be food. So a food court or food area, like maybe a vendor that's set up with, a food truck or a food cart would be in that area. So it's kind of like a hangout spot. It doesn't just have to be for VIP. This is going to stay open pretty much the duration of the show. So even as people come in at, 12, 1 o'clock, they can still participate in this, but those people are not going to be able to win some of the raffles or the giveaways or anything like that. You would have to be there for the VIP experience. So that touches base on the VIP experience. Now let's go ahead and scroll up, Jessica. So there you go. Stop right there. So as you get into the show, so if you guys can see that little area that's kind of blocked off there, it's going to be roped off. Once the show opens, we will take that rope down and you guys would, the customers would then be able to funnel into the show. We want to basically do all of the captive bred stuff in the front, okay? I'm not going to sit here and be one of these shows that tells you that we're not going to allow wild caught. I know this is a big topic across the country. Realistically, it's across the entire country. But I will sit here and I'm brave enough to sit here and say it. There are shows out there that say, oh, well, it's captive bred only. You're not allowed to have it unless you bred it. From my experience, shows that I've been to, none of them are holding that standard. So I'm not going to sit here and say that we're not going to allow wild caught animals into the show. But if you do sell those species because I feel like it's a big part of our industry. Without those animals, you're not going to be able to continue to grow this industry. Without some of that stuff, it's not bred here. It's just how it works, guys. So in the front of the show, we're going to have all captive bred things, right? So If you're a half table, if you're 50-50, sorry, you're going to the back. That's just how it's going to be. So anyone that has captive bred stuff will be in the middle. Anyone that they're, you know, basically the higher percentage of your table is dry goods, we're going to put you on the outside walls. And the reason I feel like that's very important is obviously I carry dry goods and I hear it all the time that dry goods vendors are basically blocking other vendors because we have big setups, we stack them high, we have to bring in that volume of product. So I feel like the dry goods vendors will be on the walls, okay? So mainly captive bred animals in the middle. If you have more variety of, a percentage of your table's dry goods, you're going to be on the outside wall. Now keep in mind, guys, the first shows that we run, this may or may not look exactly like this. We may have to physically see some of these vendors and what products they have, and that's subject to change from one show to the next. Not every vendor is going to have the same product they had every show, okay? So let's go ahead and scroll up. This is where I feel like we put our wild-caught animals, right? I've talked to some vendors that basically have been doing this for a very long time. I've thrown this idea at them, and they're not opposed to it because they're confident in what they do, okay? So we're going to have a big, huge banner that says, "Welcome to the wild side." I'm not going to give you guys ideas on what my vision of that banner is, but I'm going to tell you it's going to be spot on, okay? So you get to the back of the show, there's going to be a banner up. There's going to be an area where you have to basically enter another area of the show, and that is where all of our wild-caught animals will be. So if more than 50% of your table are, so to speak, wild-caught animals, then you are going to be placed near the back of the show, okay? We will have, I don't know how this is going to be worded, but we will have a little kiosk type, something that's got like a flyer or something to basically acknowledge the public that this area has animals in it that are from the wild, right? We're not trying to bash anyone. I don't know how this is going to be worded. I'm not trying to put anyone down, but I feel like in these shows, some of these customers need to be really well educated on what they're buying. So with that being said, we're going to have things up. We're going to have sanitizing stations all throughout the show, obviously in this area, but all the wild caught stuff would be in the back. So just a little idea of kind of what the vision of the growth of this show, physical show, actually looks like for you guys, and a little insight on that. So back to the Patreon, guys. This is why we are putting this out there. We need vendors to participate. We need our customers to participate because this is how we're going to get there. This is the vision that I have. And the only way that I can make this happen, guys, is with everyone participating. So even if you're throwing $20 at us a month and you don't care about nothing else and you're like, man, I know that he's going to eventually do that show, just know that that $20 is going to what I just told you. That $20 is going to the growth and the vision of what I'm putting out there right now. And we're not holding any of this back, guys, because we want you, yes, possibly, Tom, possibly, idea, if it grows the way I think it's going to grow, I would like to, if you guys have ever been to sports games, baseball game, basketball game,
concert,
concert, NASCAR, what's outside of the show? That's where you're going to buy your merch, right? You want your favorite player's t-shirt, you're going to go out there and buy it. So ideally, my idea, and this isn't going to happen overnight, guys, but this is safe, a couple year plan, is that we will eventually, as Run It Reptile Expo, we will show up with a merch trailer or possibly multiple merch trailers, and vendors will be able to put their items up there, and you can walk up. And I think this is a great idea. It's a way to like really put it in people's face before they even get into the show is, oh, look, even if it's just a cool shirt, like people just sometimes just like the shirt. They don't even know the vendor. They're just going to buy the shirt. I've had people buying Run It Reptile Expo shirts already, and they don't even know what this is. They just like the look of the shirt, okay? So, yes, Tom, to touch base on that, we are not opposed to having that merch put up in the front. We're not opposed to growing it into something where it's actually outside of the show. So while you're waiting in that VIP line, you go ahead and get your shirt, your hat, your bag, whatever it is. So great question. Thanks for touching base on that.
Yep.
Another thing. Sorry, I told you I got a lot to talk about, bro.
No, I'm glad. Yeah, you did. I was about to say, all right, night, everybody. I was wrong. I often am. Yeah. I'm still learning, everybody.
Remember, it's here. You got to get out that little paper that I gave you. Remember?
Yeah.
Guys, you want to know a funny thing about this? I had this in my mind for years. Okay, I've had this in my mind 4 years. Not 4 years, but I mean, maybe a long time, right? I've had this idea, this plan. It's kind of grown. You know, drive to Texas and do a show and then sit 16 hours in the truck coming home. You're going to think about a lot. That's where all this came from. Okay. There we go.
Shout out Andy. What's going on, Andy?
Shout out Andy. That's the plan, man. We want to grow this. Spread the word. Tell everybody. Let them know what we're doing here. But so another thing that I think is missing or lacking in shows, okay, is I want to create basically a mandatory meeting on Saturday nights. So say show ends at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. You're not going home, okay? You're not going to dinner. We're going to provide dinner for you, okay? Now, it may be pizzas. It may be something simple, maybe sandwiches. Who knows? We will provide drinks. We will provide food, okay? If you want to bring alcohol, you're free to drink, but you have to purchase that or bring that on your own, okay? Or we may be, depending on the venue, we may have a bar set up depending on the venue, right? But after the show, we would have an area where we have a mandatory meeting. In that mandatory meeting, we are going to talk about a lot of the stuff I just touched base on. We're going to teach you how to grow your brand, your name, and your appearance at the show, right? And again, guys, this is open transparency. We're not trying to attack anyone. We're not trying to come down on anyone. We're simply trying to help make everyone better. We're simply trying to help grow everyone's appearance, grow their brand, and help them, right? So we're going to talk about different resources on how to get shirts, how to get banners, how to get the decals. If you don't know where to get that stuff from. If you don't know how to basically design a logo or you don't like your logo, we're going to have someone there at that time to where maybe you can talk to them and kind of pin that down and get rolling on that, right? We're also going to give you tips on what we think can make the show better, right? What we think you as a vendor can do. We're also going to open up the floor and we're going to give you guys an opportunity to tell us what we can do better, right? So it's open transparency. Don't take anything personal. We're not going to take anything personal. That's the only way we grow. Is it's basically a way to get people talking about it, because I'm just going to be honest, guys. I travel all over the country, and what's happening at these shows is show ends, you know, vendors go out and have drinks or whatever, and they have all these visions, these ideas of how the show could be better or what they could do different, but they don't have a solution to the problem. They just have an issue, right? So no, we want to know. We want you to throw those issues at us, and we want to be able to talk about it. Well, how do you think that we can fix it? How do you think that we can make it better? So an area where we can kind of open up as a community, as vendors, and talk about these things. Get it out there on the table and really start to pin this down to grow the growth of this show and make it what you guys as vendors want it to be. And the only way we do that is by basically doing something like this and having open transparency, hearing what you have to say, and trying to put it in play. Now, it doesn't mean that every idea we're going to be able to do that. It doesn't mean that every idea that we try is going to work. But we have to try. We have to give it an effort, right? So we need your participation in that, as well as basically being able to reciprocate what we are telling you and giving you ideas of, without thinking that we're trying to crack down on you or be hard on you, because that's not what we're doing here. We basically want to encourage you guys to be better, okay? Another idea that I have with that meeting, okay, is that we kind of walk around the show as a group, right? So we get together as a group, we have this meeting, we eat dinner, have a couple drinks, and then we walk around the show, right? So we're going to go from table to table. So and another thing, guys, Gecko Junkie will not be set up at shows. That's just not how it's going to work. I'm not going to double dip on you. I don't think that that's fair. But I'm going to use my business as an example of where this idea came from, okay? So a lot of people, I go to these shows, and a lot of vendors don't know what we do as far as setting up our enclosures for ball pythons, crested geckos, bearded dragons, what have you, right? Some vendors just don't know what we offer and how deep it really goes. So I want to create something where we can walk around the show and you can represent yourself. You get behind your table and you tell all the other vendors, you know, a little bit about yourself. What do you do? how long you've been doing it, and what you bring to the table for the show, right? So that we can begin to work off of each other. So for example, like I just touched base on, I sell leopard gecko kits, bearded dragon setups, ball python setups, crested gecko setups. Some vendors just don't know how deep that really goes. So we'll use the ball python setup for a prime example. If someone buys a 20-gallon tank from me, enclosure, PVC enclosure, and they want the complete kit, we completely set it up. So you're going to get your hide, your water bowl, your bedding. We're going to basically put your heating pad already onto the tank. We are going to hook up your thermostat to the heating pad. We're going to run your probe inside of the tank. So ideally, when the customer gets home, they literally plug the tank in. They plug the thermostat in. They set the temperature. They put some water in there, and they put their snake in there, and they're done. That's it, right? A lot of vendors don't know that I do that. But have I been able to really touch base with every vendor or had an open platform to do so? Absolutely not. Most vendors have found out because maybe they've walked somewhat over my table with the ball python and they still stood there and listened to what I'm selling and how I'm selling it. And now they're going back to their table and they're sending every customer that they have to my table, because the key here is that they know if they sell that person an animal and they send them to me and I set them up properly, they're not going to call them in a week saying, hey, my snake's not eating or it's not, acting right. So it's just a great way to really promote yourself, sell yourself and your brand and your product to the other vendors, so we know how to work off of each other, right? And I think that's really key. Some people are going to want to participate, some are not. But I am going to make it, if and when we get to an actual live expo, it's going to be mandatory. You are going to have someone that represents your business or your brand in this meeting. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. There are going to be very strict rules that we are going to have because we are setting a standard here, guys. I have a lot of ideas that's going to set a standard, and I think that the standard is key, and we're going to stick by it. We're not going to give anyone favoritism. Again, it's not that we don't like you. This is the only way we take this to the next level, is that we have to set these standards and we have to hold people accountable. And once these people, once all the vendors start doing this, guys, this is the key. Imagine what the show is going to look like. Imagine how the vibe is going to be and how people are going to feel about walking into this show and seeing that we all vibe with each other and we're all working together. And if I don't have what you need, he's got what you need. And that really bleeds into the customers, and they really feel confident from purchasing from the expo, the show, the vendors. The whole picture comes together for them, right? Is they really go home satisfied, okay? And that's what we're shooting for, is to help you guys grow, help you be better, and do that the best we can. So, and
also I want to touch base on that too. Run It, we really want to focus on optics for, of course, the vendor and the customer, but also people who maybe do not support the pet trade, who are anti-pet trade. You know what I mean? We want to create a space that they could come in and maybe learn something, see something in a different light, see something that's cleaner. People who have a professional appearance, and are passionate about what they're doing, and the animals are healthy and they're sending healthy animals home to happy people. All of this ties together, especially in today's climate, as far as optics goes. It's not just for the customer and the vendor too, but maybe whoever might come across and see this. We want it to look polished, professional. But like Tristan was saying, there's a standard in play clearly, and someone is there to answer questions for someone, a customer, a vendor, someone in PETA, for all I know. You know what I mean? Don't think that those people might not show up. But, all of it's important. A newscast.
I've always felt like with the PETA thing is I've seen PETA come into shows and take pictures and stuff like that, and everyone kind of panics.
Right. I
don't panic. Please bring them to my table, because I want to talk to them. I want to see if they really know what they're talking about. They're not going to listen to us, and they may not they're not going to go up there and be like, oh, these guys are great, and this is what they're doing. But maybe we can ease that down a little bit. Maybe the next time they're like, well, I don't want to go to the show because this guy actually tried to show me that he cares, right? Instead of being afraid of them and trying to hide from them and not let them take pictures of my stuff. No, here, you know what? Let me get it out. Let me tell you about it. Oh, yes, it's in a small deli cup. Do you know that it actually transports better in a small deli cup? Do you know what we house it in at home? Do you know why we have it this way? And I feel like some of that will help weed that out with the appearance and the standard of what we're going to do is it's going to kind of give them a little bit of pushback, right? We want to give them a little pushback without pushing too hard to hopefully ease that a little bit and give this reptile industry a better outlook to those people that just don't agree with what we do. And we're never going to stop it. I'm not saying that we are. That's not what we're here to do. But it is a way to hopefully help ease the pain on that just a little bit.
Yeah, we think that's very important. Jess and I are real big on that, so I'm glad that we're all on the same page as far as that goes. It's all tied together, man.
Now that we're talking about some standards, let's talk about the other standards we got. So this is me, guys. This is me as your show promoter, future show promoter, Run It Reptile Expo virtual show promoter. There's a couple standards that I feel like every show should hold everyone accountable for. Because it shows, one, if you are actually serious about what you're doing and if you represent your brand. I've been at shows where I've had customers contact me that didn't even purchase from me looking for information for other vendors because they weren't provided that information. So with that being said, if you plan on vending our shows, one, we're going to have you submit an application, right? So you're going to have to tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been doing it, what you're bringing to the table, as well as pictures of your booth, setup, animals. You're going to have to submit that stuff. That's just how it's going to be, right? So that's going to help us kind of help pick and choose. And we're not playing favoritism, guys. It's just the standard. So if you want to be a part of this, you're going to have to meet the standard. So that's part of the registration when we get to that point is you're going to have to submit those things. Now, when it comes to the actual show, I think that a number one thing is every vendor should have t-shirt. Right? You should have a shirt that represents you, your brand, your name. Because how do these people know who they're buying from or who is running the table if you're not representing yourself? Now, I've put this out there on social media and I've had some people kind of give me a little bit of backlash on it and say that they don't think that that's right or they don't think that that's fair. But guys, I'm going to be honest with you. If you have a problem making a shirt, call me, text me, message me. We'll get you a shirt. $20-25 we can get you in a t-shirt. It's not that hard. Even if it just says your name of your business across it, it doesn't have to be fancy. We just want you to have that, right? So first off, t-shirts. Second of all, business cards. We'll help you get there. Guys, ideally, I'm just going to be blunt about it, okay? For $150, you can have t-shirts, business cards, banner, and tablecloths. $150. So I feel like that is a key. It's an investment, right? It's an investment into your business. It's a tax write-off. So if you plan on doing our show, we are basically asking that you would put up at least minimal effort of like $150, $200 to represent yourself properly. Right?
And we will help you. Yeah, that's the thing too. Like if you show to us that you're willing and you want in and you know, we will help you. It's not a no. Like, so Dwayne, to answer your question, if you're just starting out, if you're on board with what we're saying and you want to represent yourself in that way, we will absolutely help you get there. Not a problem. All about it. All about that growth.
We'll help you get the banners. We'll help you get the t-shirts. So those are the standards, guys. There's 4 things that I will require of every vendor. T-shirt, business card, a banner. I don't care if you go and buy a poster board from Walmart and write your business name on there. It's better than nothing. Okay. Now, saying how he just said, well, what if I'm starting out? This is the point. We want you to grow. We want you each show to look better, right? So you come in, you can only afford to, sketch something out on a poster board and say, hey, this is my business name. Cool. Right. We want to help you grow. We want to, the idea here is we're going to host a strong enough show that you will and should make plenty of sales to walk away from our show and invest in yourself. So hopefully next time you come back, now you have a better banner or you have a new shirt or you have a better business card, right? So like Ryan just said, we're not telling you no. And we're not saying like it has to be this way, like it has to be this specific banner or this specific card. We just simply want to see some effort, guys. We want to see that you are pouring into us as much as we are going to pour into you. So really that's all it is. So t-shirt, business card, banner, tablecloths. I don't care if you go to the dollar store and buy the plastic tablecloths. I just don't want to see the plastic table or the wooden table that they provide for us at the expo. And then keep in mind, guys, we are going to provide those things for you. So say that you can't afford it at first and you're like, well, I just got to go with these cheap ones. Cool. Throw those on the table. Guess what? We're going to offer the tablecloths that look really nice, the fitted 8-foot tablecloths for you guys in black. We're going to offer those for you at the show. So let's say Saturday you're doing really well, made a couple sales, and you're like, man, I can afford to drop $50. Let me go up there and buy 2 new tablecloths, right? You go up there and buy the tablecloths. If you find one of the guys from our staff or find me specifically, I will make one of my guys go over there with you, strip your table down. We can do it in 5 minutes and we'll have new tablecloth on your tables just like that. Right there in the show. Doesn't matter. You can boom right now. So it's 1 o'clock. You made a $1,200 sale. You want to drop $50 to $100 to make your table look better? Let's do it. Let's make you look better. Let's help you do that, right? You want to add lights to your table? Cool, let's do it. You want displays for deli cups, or you want, acrylic displays? Guess what? We'll have them. You can upgrade. You can do it. So that's the goal here, guys, is we're not telling you that you can't, it's this super high standard, but we do have to have a standard, and we are going to stick by it because I feel like that's what the shows need for the appearance of the show.
I know some of you are sitting there like, I'm not a vendor. I just want to buy some geckos, or I just want to buy snakes, which is cool. But I think it's important that you guys do hear this too, because Run It is going to be a collective of vendors. And I want you guys to understand too how important we think it is to pour into our vendors, because the better they do, the better we do, the better you do. It's all relative, right? So it's okay if you're just like, okay, well, it's not relevant to me. I think it is all relevant if you are interested in entertaining Run It Reptile Expo, because like Tristan's been saying, we all grow together. All of us, we all do better, right?
Right.
So if we just start setting this standard industry wide, big goals, obviously, but that's how this starts, man. We're dreaming big, we're small steps to get there, but that's what we want to see. So
right. And we're pouring this information out there for you guys so that you can hear it. You can see it. We're going to give you guys, we're going to be transparent with you guys. We're going to tell you where we're going and how we're trying to get there, right? Because that's the only way that we're going to get there, is if you guys know about what the vision of this is. So, like Ryan said, if you're just here because you're listening to see what we do as far as Run It Reptile Expo and you want to purchase from us, that's great. But I want you to see where we are trying to take this. So keep in mind the participation of you, that 10% that you're paying into the processing and handling and stuff like that, the items that you're buying from other vendors, and we're taking that 20%. All of that is going to generate into a savings that we're going to grow, so we can basically rent a venue, bring in all this different stuff that we're talking about, pay someone like Reptile 101 to come and host the event, pay possibly, a food truck, or get to where we can provide that merch truck outside, all of those things, right? Now, it's not going to happen overnight. The first show, we're not going to show up and have all this for you guys. It's just not how it's going to work. But it gives you guys an idea of where we're trying to go. We want vendors to see it. We want basically our participants on Run It, or customers that are coming and attending these shows to see all this, and see exactly where we plan on taking this. Because without a vision of where it's going to go, you guys are just kind of sitting in limbo, going from show to show to show, like, where are we trying to take this? So that's what goes into the Patreon, is if we can get people participating in that and helping us grow that, it's only going to help us grow this, to give you guys more, to offer more for you in the future.
Yeah, and also too, I mean, this might be obvious, but once we start an in-person show, I mean, we're only going to keep improving the virtual events too. So if your thing is just getting some buddies together, or even by yourself while your wife is away or whatever, and hanging out in your living room, drinking a beer in your underwear, and you just want to hang out with us and participate and Run It, we're going to continue to grow the virtual expo as well too. I have a feeling this is not going away. This is just going to get better and more interactive and more involved. Patreon helps with that too. It's not just for an in-person show that you might not be able to attend. We'll keep growing this too, the virtual events. So keep that in mind.
Absolutely.
Cool. Also, I think on that, I just want to touch base on the schedule one more time. I don't think we have some events that we were going to hold at the Run It HQ. Yeah. So I think we were talking about maybe doing one in February.
Yes. So we're doing the one this Saturday.
Yep.
Again, this Saturday it's going to be at the Atlanta RepCon. It's going to be ran from 10 a.m. till unknown time, at least 4 o'clock. And then we have another one the first weekend of February. I believe it's the 2nd and the 3rd are the dates. I'm thinking we're possibly going to do a 2-day event for that one. It may be actually on a Friday and Saturday. But Hardwired Exotics is going to be joining us again. We're going to be doing it right here in this room that I'm sitting in, hosting it from the Gecko Junkie facility. We will be doing another one February, and we will be featuring Hardwire Exotics with his ball pythons again, his crested geckos. I'm sure Savage Morse, Chris Banks will be joining us, as well as we've got Martial Arachnids, Gecko Junkie, Rolly Boy, Dragon Mafia. And there's probably going to be a few more surprise guests in there. We'll just have to see what comes down the pipe.
Yep. So we'll just keep this a live document. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, we'll keep the schedule kind of like a live rotating document. So just keep checking back, and then Jess will update it. So we'll try to keep you guys informed best we can. And also, obviously, we want to keep pushing these giveaways and having you guys like and share. So obviously, following us on all the social media platforms will update you on our next events.
Yes. Like and subscribe to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Check out our website. All of those fun things. It's going to give you guys more information about what we're talking about. You can physically see it. Stay tuned to our social media pages, because we're going to constantly be dropping the information on shows and who we're featuring and stuff like that. And again, guys, we need participation from vendors as well as customers, participants. Share it, like our posts, please. That's how we kind of get these algorithms hitting and moving in the right direction for RUN IT Reptile Expo. Kind of a closing, I want to kind of touch base on some of the people that have supported this so far, right? So let's talk about that. We'll kind of jump out of here soon. One Gecko Junkie, myself, and Martial Arachnids, we are kind of, getting this thing off the ground and rolling with our animals and our products, as well as Rolly Boy has participated. We've got Dragon Mafia with the Bearded Dragons has participated and helped us behind the scenes. We've got Loco Geckos. James has also helped us. Shout out to Redline Shipping, who has handled some of our shipping so far. And then shout out to Reptiles Express, which is going to be handling shipping at upcoming events, as well as all of the events at Repticon. Shout out to Show Me Snakes that allowed us to do our first actual live virtual Run It right before Christmas in Nashville, and allowed us the opportunity to kind of work out some of these kinks that we're going to be able to fix moving forward. And then a huge shout out to Repticon for allowing us to set the schedule and play and take up some space in their shows and see the vision that we have pretty much proposed to them for the growth of this and their participation in helping us grow it. They liked and shared our post the other day, so that's huge. We really appreciate Repticon doing that, Reptiles Express for jumping in, kind of getting us that meeting with Billy Healy so that we could get this thing moving in the right direction. But closing statements, guys, as you see there, we've got the Patreon up. Please, if you want to participate, you want to see the growth of what we're talking about here, join one of those tiers if it's something you're interested in. It's a monthly membership.
It's definitely worth it.
It is definitely
worth it for you as the participant. The benefits are more than worth it, in fact. And again, guys, this is on our website, runitReptileExpo.com, under the membership page. It'll take you right to this, and then you can read a little more about this if your quality is not all that great on your screen right now.
Yeah, Tom, we can talk about it. Tom, we kind of already touched base in the beginning of the video, but real quick, you can visit this on the website. But we have 3 different tiers set up. Some of them will enter you into giveaways. Some of them will enter you into free shipping, free merchandise,
early access to a private Discord channel. You can take things off the table before they even hit the event, stuff like that.
Yeah. So. We have already touched base on it. It's getting late. I'm waiting on some dinner because your boy just got back from the gym and body's fiending for some protein. So if you want to know about that, Tom, just kind of start from the beginning, possibly if you joined us a little late, or go to the website and you can read some of that stuff.
Okay, and real quick, Tristan, before we head out, when does the giveaway? When do we announce the winners for the giveaway here that we're doing on Facebook for sharing the?
I think that we could, because it doesn't matter if you participate or not. I think we could do that during the event this weekend. So
okay.
Let's set that for 12 o'clock on Saturday. We'll do the live giveaway. So
okay. Jess is going to launch that now on our Facebook page, and then you guys can enter the giveaway by following the instructions that she's provided on the post. The prize is $100. You get $100 for just sharing. You don't have to participate in the event if you don't want to. Obviously, we want you to.
Friends, family, share it, like it, do all that fun stuff. Follow what it says, and somebody's going to win $100 and get that money for whatever they would like to do with it. $100 cash prize.
Boom.
So,
all right, Jess is going to launch that now, and I think that's it, my friend.
Good deal.
Guys.
Again, guys, thank you if you've tuned in. Please share this video so that everyone can kind of see the vision of Run It Reptile Expo. We do have a lot of ideas that we just kind of threw out there for you guys, so you can see the growth of where we want to take this thing. We look forward to 2024, running these events live at the Repticon shows and possibly some other shows. We don't really know exactly where it's going to go, but we do have a plan so far of what we're going to do with it. If you guys do not know what our booth kind of looked like, you can find those pictures on our social media, the event that we ran in Nashville, so it can give you an idea of kind of how that layout looks for you, and see where this is going to go, and kind of our branding and our banners and toppers and TV and tablecloths and all that stuff. So we
past events are all cataloged on YouTube too. You can find them all on YouTube, how we've run the events.
Yep. That's right. If you want to know how they've been ran in the past, go check them out. So from Gecko Junkie Facility, thank you guys for tuning in. Whether it was tonight or another night that you watch this video, we greatly appreciate everyone that is following us, participating, all the vendors that are participating in this. Again, this is a community thing that we're trying to grow. We're trying to basically get everyone involved. We have really high expectations of this, but it starts with, kind of getting this information out there. We've launched our Patreon here tonight, so if you guys are interested in that, please join so we can kind of get this ball rolling. And we look forward to seeing you guys live this weekend starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, live from the Repticon in Atlanta.
Let's go.
Bye.
Good night, guys.
See you guys. Night.
Happy New Year.
See you soon, guys.